One of the amazing new tools within Business Center is the ability to create intersections. So on screen here we see we've got a T-junction and a roundabout. This information can be created from existing alignments or corridors within Business Center utilizing the create intersection command. So let's quickly jump across to another project and see how this is done. So in our example here we've brought in a PDF, digitized that information to create some corridors, which we see here in the 3D view. We can see where these two corridors intersect, and at this point we want to create an intersection. If we wanted to create a cul-de-sac, there's also a command there for the end of the alignment as needed. So what I do with this command is select the alignments or corridors that are intersecting each other. That then shows me the one intersection point, which is highlighted with a pink triangle. I can then give this intersection a name and have the option of ticking this box to create a roundabout or not ticking the box to create a T-junction. If I had an existing template with properties such as local design parameters, those could then be loaded as well. Push apply, and in about 5 seconds I get the first pass of our roundabout, which you can see here in plan and 3D view. As it stands at the moment, it's pretty obvious to see that our roundabout is not the correct size, so we need to make it larger. So to do that, we just go into the properties of the roundabout itself, and we can see here that the radius is currently 8 meters. So what I need to do then is change that to 20 meters, push apply, and wait for that to take effect. Initially we see here some of the tinning is a little bit off, so we have to go and edit some of the other information such as how the legs connect to each other and also the various connections. So if I go down the connections here, we see we've got a difference here between how they touch. So this one here should actually be a contra. Change that and we see then we have fixed our roundabout. So very dynamic and easy to edit. But looking at the data, we see we also need to change the size of these joins here where our information touches in the corners. So if I change the size of the radius in and out of each curve, we then see that that better fits to our PDF, and we've now completed that leg. We then have to do the same for the other two connections. So what I can do is copy the properties from this connection and paste that into our other two connections. That then updates the model, so we could see in these two curves here, and we're about to see the change effect in this one. So paste again in here, and we see then we're matching to this correct size of our roundabout as needed. What I could also look at doing is clicking on the various legs in our roundabout, and in this example looking down here, we could then opt to put in, while this is not part of the design in the PDF, it's just a good example, we could put in an island, and then once we've put in that island we see that appear in our properties, and we can look at how do we want to adjust that. So maybe I could put in a curb height so we can see our information in 3D, and we could then put a walking path in which is going to be 4 meters away from the end of the island. So let's make that 2 meters, and we then have a pathway built into our model. So very dynamic, very simple to work with, and a range of information you can then edit as you need to make this roundabout fit your needs. For example, we could also adjust the point in the middle of the roundabout to then add some elevation to the center. So very simple to edit, very easy to manipulate and work with the data as you need. Now if I had made a mistake and I needed this to be a T-junction, in the properties here it's simply a matter of changing from an O to a T, and we end up with a T-junction at that junction point there. where we can then go about and edit that information in the same way we're looking at just before. So very simple to change things as you need. Also hidden in the properties, in our project settings under computations, in here we have road intersection, where you can select whether you're driving on the left or the right hand side of the road, which is very important when it comes down to your roundabout design. Thank you for attention. That concludes the video on intersections.